good evening. It's 8 o'clock in Banjul. This is QTV News coming to you live from our studios on Caraba Avenue. And I am Julde Njai. Thanks for joining us. Here are the main news headlines. The Ministry of Higher Education has launched a joint e-learning and digital library platform called Campus Assist for tertiary and higher education institutions. Gambia Participates organized a day-long forum on Friday with stakeholders to discuss the country's institutional challenges in addressing horizontal accountability. And the governor of Lower River Region embarked on a regional tour on Wednesday to visit various security institutions or installations across the region. And Paradise Foundation and partners visited the National Emergency Treatment Center under construction in Farato to raise awareness of child labor, gender-based violence and sexual exploitation at construction sites. In international news, at the UN General Assembly, African leaders said reparations should be paid by those engaged in the transatlantic slave trade in Africa, while raising a host of other issues affecting the continent. Those were your headlines, and now the news in detail. Hello, if you are just tuning in, this is QTV News. And the Ministry of Higher Education, Research, Science and Technology has launched a joint e-learning and digital library platform called Campus Assist for tertiary and higher education institutions in the Gambia. Mamadou Gajaga attended, and this is his report.
The launching of this groundbreaking e-learning and digital library platform is expected to enhance learning in the Gambia by using technology to transform education as well as increasing access to education. Mukhtar Dabo, Deputy Permanent Secretary, Technical, Minister of Higher Education, Research, Science and Technology explains.
The joint e-learning and digital library platform is not just a technological marvel. It is a catalyst for change. It brings together diverse features from a comprehensive content repository to real-time data analytics, all aim at delivering high-quality education accessible to all Gambians. It is about fostering inclusivity, supporting educators, and empowering students to excel.
The e-learning initiative is supported by UNESCO as one of the key partners of the ministry through the UNESCO participation program titled STEM Education Management Platform, improving performance and management of STEM education service delivery in the Gambia. Maimouna Sidibe, Secretary General, UNESCO NATCOM Gambia Office, says this platform is an innovative step.
UNESCO believes in leveraging the power of technology to promote interactive learning, production and development of STEM and scientific knowledge resources. Therefore, this platform could promote the effective dissemination of these scientific resources for the greater benefit of our society. At the broader level, UNESCO promotes open access to learning and sharing of scientific information.
Data, research and interactive learning might all be improved on this platform with the goal of enhancing access to educational materials. According to Professor Per Gomez, the Minister of Higher Education, Research, Science and Technology, there is now a platform that will progress our education system and bring it up to par with the rest of the developed world.
In embracing this digital era, we affirm our belief that innovation is the catalyst for progress. We recognize that equitable access to knowledge and educational resources is the cornerstone of inclusive development. As we embark on this journey, we do so with humility and gratitude, for it is through collaboration, dedication, and a tireless pursuit of excellence that we have reached this milestone.
Key features of the platform include video and audio tutorials, access to numerous digital libraries for engagement analytics, plus curriculum and administrative management tools. The digital platform works on both desktop, Android, and iOS devices. It is expected to give a major boost to higher education in the Gambia. Mamadou Gajaga, QTV News.
And now Gambia Participates organized a day-long forum on Friday with stakeholders to discuss the country's institutional challenges in addressing horizontal accountability. I attended the forum and this is my report. This day-long session brought together government representatives, legislators, civil society and media practitioners to discuss the country's accountability efforts. In terms of government-led accountability, there is a huge communication gap between the government and the citizens, especially in communicating government's efforts to deter and sanction corruption and corrupt acts by government officials and the private sector. Mariang, Executive Director of Gambia Participates, spoke of the importance of the forum.
We will be here today to listen from the government as to the efforts that they have been doing in holding government institutions, the executive accountable. They are independent institutions that are established by law, and then also, especially the Ministry of Justice. We've recently seen the work that they've been doing in prosecuting corruption cases. And then also from a vertical line, especially from the civil society and journalists, the work that they have been doing investigating corruption cases.
Stakeholders debated corruption and what their institutions are doing to address it. For instance, have corruption cases recently investigated by the Office of the Inspector General of Police been closed? And how about the efforts of the Ministry of Justice to respond to corruption and corrupt-related cases in the public sector? Here is Buba Sise, a representative from the Office of the IGP, and Aliu Jallo, a representative from the Ministry of Justice.
Okay, going back before 2019, you were asking about prosecutions and, if there were any convictions. Yes, of course. If you have been following, we had convictions, we had cases that went to court, and we have convictions, that emanate from all the investigations of audit reports.
A matter is brought to the attention of the DPP. What they do is to profile an opinion, and there are two possibilities. One, to return the file to the office of the IGP, which will, of course, entail the fact that maybe there was no evidence to proceed with such a case. It could also be that the police could handle it at their level.
Over the years, there have been journalistic corruption investigative findings with little public accountability or the sense that these revelations have been pursued. These beg the question, how can journalists and civil society organizations work with public accountability institutions to foster accountability? Is there the political will to tackle these issues? Here is Seth Matijau from the civil society organization.
So there's the political will, but then the issue of corruption, as much as it is historical, it is structured, it is also very new in terms of our advocacy efforts, in terms of the work that we do. So it requires time to think about it, contextualize it.
Other speakers include Alaji Estabo, chairperson of the Finance and Public Accounts Committee, and Suwaibu Ture, chairperson, Public Petitions Committee, who both spoke on their role in fighting corruption. Gambia Participates continues to work with a global network of civil society organizations on projects linked to horizontal accountability. These are the checks and balances that are in place and used by legislative and judicial branches of government to hold the executive branch accountable. For QTV News, I am Julden Yai. And the governor of the Lower River region embarked on a regional tour on Wednesday to visit various security installations across the region. Our regional correspondent, Bakari Balde, tells us more.
The purpose of the visit is to assess and get first-hand information about the security situation and also to have face-to-face consultative meetings with various communities in the region. The entourage first visited the Pakaliba military post. Captain Bakari Elef Koli, the Pakaliba military post commander, outlined the Army's commitment to ensure that the country is secured. He further mentioned some of the challenges they are facing.
We normally do patrol every week, twice in a week, but recently we couldn't do it due to the shortage of fuel we normally have here. I will ask support from your office if you can do anything to help us, especially when it comes to fuel. Definitely, we will really appreciate it.
Ken Mendy, the police commissioner of LRR, commended the governor for the visit and said security is the bedrock for maintaining peace.
Security is very vital. And in Indian security, there is no single institution that can do it alone. But collectively, when we come together, we'll be able to achieve whatsoever we want to achieve in terms of security. And it is an indisputable fact that no nation can develop fully without security. Security is the life wire of any developing country.
Sidi Lamin Bah, the governor of LRR, said the security of the country should be everyone's responsibility, and he assured them of his office support.
By 2025, we'll have a universal coverage of electricity within the country, of which this Pakaliba is part of. So the rest as well. On the other hand, you've mentioned also the issue of fuel. This is a general problem. I think it applies to all of us. I will also say that we will contribute from the governor's office. I may not be able to tell you right now how much I'm giving you, but the rest assured, on a monthly basis, we will support you.
Alhaji L.S. Jammeh, a retired head teacher and member of the Council of Elders in the region, commented following the incident in which 3 police officers were shot at, resulting in the death of 2.
No one should play with this incident that has happened. So they should make a thorough search why this happens. What is the motive behind this move, this very bad move? Because it has affected the whole country, not only Gambia, but even worldwide.
Personnel at many police stations and military bases we visited raised concerns about the lack of mobility, water and electricity. Governor Bah outlined plans to address these issues.
From here, we will go back to the office, we will write, and we will table all this, and we will send it to the minister for consumption. Because you know, when we do what we collect here, once we gather all this information, we have a detailed and a comprehensive report. And this is submitted to the Honorable Minister, who will look at it with the PS. And the Minister will go to Cabinet, will also bring out the issues that we have found out here. This is how decentralization process works.
Various district chiefs, Alkalol, Council of Elders, and male and female councillors applauded the security forces in the region for their hard work, commitment, and dedication to service, and assured them of their community's support. Bakari Balde, QTV News.
That report there by Bakari Balde takes us to a commercial break. When we return, we have some more local as well as international news stories for you. To stay tuned.
The Central Bank of the Gambia, having been requested by the Ministry of Finance and Economic Affairs, will establish and nurture the Security Exchange Commission, Central Security Depository, and the Gambia Stock Exchange. His Excellency, President Adama Barrow, will officially launch the first capital market of the Gambia on Friday, 29 September 2023 at the Sadauda Kairaba Jawara International Conference Center. Please join us to celebrate this significant milestone in the financial market landscape of our dear country, the Gambia.
Technology has always been at the forefront of our lives, and the way we use it has evolved drastically over the years. With the advent of 5G internet, we are entering a new era of technological innovation that promises to transform the way we live, work, and play. 5G internet is capable of providing data speeds up to 100 times faster than 4G, making it the ideal solution for streaming high-quality videos, playing online games, and downloading large files on the go. 5G internet is already transforming cities across the globe, powering smart cities, self-driving cars, and virtual reality experiences that were once thought impossible. 5G internet is also paving the way for Internet of Things, allowing for seamless connectivity between devices and the creation of a truly connected world. For the first time in the Gambia, QCell is bringing tomorrow's technology to you today with the launch of QCell 5G Internet. Get ready to experience the out-of-this-world wonders of QCell's 5G Internet. For more information, call 111. QCell. We innovate, others follow.
Welcome back. If you're just tuning in, this is QTV News with me, Julde Njai. And now, in a bid to broaden its awareness campaign on child labor, gender-based violence and sexual exploitation and abuse at construction sites, Paradise Foundation and partners on Wednesday visited the National Emergency Treatment Center under construction in Farato in the West Coast region. Loli M. Kamara accompanied the team, and this is her report.
Among its aims, Gambia's COVID-19 Emergency Preparedness and Response Project seeks to ensure systems are established to address and tackle gender-based violence, sexual exploitation and abuse, and sexual harassment. Siri Kopal Gupta is the construction project manager at the National Emergency Treatment Center, Farato.
And almost we have completed more than 60% work, and we are following all the safety precautions. We are taking, as you've seen, at site, the site is very neat and clean, and all are bearing, all are taking care of safety.
According to anti-GBV campaigners, they hope to create cooperative pathways within the project sites, including at Brusubi, Farato, and Banjul, to enhance the protection of women and children. Isa Balde is the executive director of Paradise Foundation.
The project is a World Bank project which supports the Ministry of Health in the construction of hospitals and facilities. As you can see, it's a huge construction, and as part of World Bank policy, any construction that they conduct, they have to be C policy. C is the sexual exploitation, abuse and harassment policy, and that is what we are working on. And the project is about sexual exploitation and abuse at the workplace. So as a result of that, we chose this site to actually come out here and to get the audience or the viewers to actually see what we are talking about.
Madam Balde added that most of the workers have been trained on safety and sexual exploitation and abuse policy. Research shows that 61% of total global employment is informal and nearly 70% in developing and emerging countries. Rohiata C., the president of Mothers Health Foundation, which promotes the protection of women and children's health, called on parents and caregivers to be more vigilant and protect children.
We should value ourselves, especially the children. We should safeguard the children, because the children are our futures of tomorrow. You never know what the child would be. Exposing your child, giving the child, whether a boy or a girl, a goods of $100, $50, then they become victims tomorrow, and because that would be a lifetime trauma.
Maria De Costa, acting president of the National Federation of Gambian Women, was also at the event.
The reason why we are very particular about gender-based violence, especially with this project, is we've seen that most of the workers that are coming in are not Gambians, especially at the Farato site. So it is important that it is discussed and people are made aware of what gender-based actually is.
Hamadi Jawara, the focal point officer at the Ministry of Health, hailed workers at this site for allowing SGBV advocates to visit them and share ideas on the protection of women and children, especially at construction sites. Sexual violence is often perpetrated either as the main objective of certain human rights violations or as an instrument of repression, torture and punishment, and women are disproportionately affected. For QTV News, Lolly M. Kamara.
Following QTV News broadcast last December about vendors not occupying the new Soma Community Market due to some lack of facilities, our regional correspondent Bakari Balde revisited the market 1 year on.
Community markets play an integral part of our life, where people buy and sell goods and provide services to earn income. This community market was constructed by the government of the Gambia as part of the Senegambia Bridge project to relocate vendors who were stationed at the Yilitenda Bambatenda ferry crossing point. Since its commissioning nearly a year ago, after some reluctance, vendors have slowly started moving there. Yankoba Sedikan from Jara Sikunda and Bakoro Sise from Jara Soma Both vendors explain how business is faring.
Business on in alhamdulillah
I thank God for this business. I was the first person to start operating here. And what I believed is that wherever you are doing business, you will get what is meant for you, even if the shop is far. This market is not fully occupied, so there are fewer people here. Sometimes I spend a whole day and earn very little, but that does not discourage me.
I would like to appeal to the area council to relocate the meat and fish sellers to join us at this market. If we have them here, that will boost our sales. This market is built for us, so we must make the best use of it.
Ami Kinte, another vendor, said she ventured into business to help her family and emphasized limited customers at the market. She further urged those allocated shops and who have yet to take up occupancy to occupy them.
I am calling on other shop owners who are yet to occupy their shops to come and do so, to attract more customers. Because if this market is not fully occupied, buyers will go to the main market to do their shopping. Also, if we have fish sellers here, it will attract people from Saramaudo to just stop and shop here.
Aissatou Barrow, a businesswoman, and Fai Bajo, a resident of Jara Soma, applauded the government for providing such a facility to the community of Soma and its surrounding villages.
President Barrow. I thank the president because he has done exactly what is expected of him. He built this market to a good quality and told us to come and sell. So it is up to us to come here and make money, whether it is small or big.
There are more than 200 compounds around this area. I believe that if all of them stop going to the main market and just come and shop here, this market will function well. People from Kabada used to bring coos, maize and granules to sell them in Farafenye. If those people stop at this market, people will surely come to buy from us because customers ask for these items daily.
Despite the improvements, these vendors are still appealing to the government and officials to fix the water facility and improve the security of the area by providing a proper concrete perimeter wall. Bakari Balde, QTV News.
That report there takes us to international news. African leaders say reparations should be paid by those who engage in the transatlantic slave trade in Africa. They raised these among a host of other issues affecting the continent during the 78th session of the United Nations General Assembly. Let's have more details of that in this report. The 78th session of the General Assembly is aimed at addressing the implementation of the 2030 Agenda and its Sustainable Development Goals, responding to the threats of climate change and coordinating cooperation on health issues. Addressing the General Assembly on Wednesday, Nana Akufo-Addo, President of Ghana, joined other world leaders to draw attention to pressing global issues that threaten peace, prosperity and progress in many nations.
Maybe we should also admit that it cannot be easy to build confident and prosperous societies from nations that for centuries have their natural resources looted and their peoples traded as commodities. For centuries, the world has been unwilling and unable to confront the realities of the consequences of the slave trade. But gradually, this is changing, and it is time to bring the subject of reparations firmly to the fore. Granted, the current generations are not the ones that engaged in the slave trade, but that grand inhuman enterprise was state-sponsored and deliberate, and its benefits are clearly interwoven with the present-day economic architecture of the nations that designed and executed it. Reparations must be paid.
George M. Weah, the President of Liberia, addressed the General Assembly.
As the world deals with unprecedented global political and security challenges, there are growing concerns about the proliferation
Well, I'm afraid that's all we got time for. But before we go, here is a recap of the news headlines. Now, the Ministry of Higher Education has launched a joint e-learning and digital library platform called Campus Access for tertiary and higher education institutions. And Gambia Participates organized a day-long forum on Friday with stakeholders to discuss the country's institutional challenges in addressing horizontal accountability. And the governor of the Lower River region embarked on a regional tour on Wednesday to visit various security installations across the region. Paradise Foundation and partners visited the National Emergency Treatment Center under construction in Farato to raise awareness of child labor, gender-based violence, and sexual exploitation at construction sites. In international news, at the UN General Assembly, African leaders say reparations should be paid by those who engage in the transatlantic slave trade in Africa, while raising a host of other issues affecting the continent. And that's all we have for you in this bulletin of the news. Do join us tomorrow for the news in review with Ade Dramet. Many thanks indeed for the pleasure of your company. Do have a lovely weekend. Bye-bye.